Let me thank each and every one of you, the board of the TMZ Foundation, under your leadership, Dr. Tabane, being our chairperson, Pauline, always amazing, and the support has been encouraging, and the rest of the board members that could not be here. I think mine is an easy one. I've been asked to just thank everyone, so I could just literally say thank you and go and sit down. But of course, it's difficult to do that after, you know, each and every one of you had to put everything aside and be here with us to say that you believe in our vision, to pledge your support, whether it comes in monetary terms or it just comes with just your presence here and be able to spread the word of everything that we do in our small ways as the foundation, but with the hope that incrementally it would translate into a force to be reckoned with. It will leave a legacy that will live forever because we're not going to live forever. Let me start off by also thanking the beautiful ladies that were here, that really were able to really deal with the emotions that were so high, Mahalia and Lizelle. Those I think I've adopted them now. I think in Zulu sithi abantwana bakho bazale ngeimbambo. You know, we've come a long way with them. They've always been there. When you call on them, they always come running and they always come and, you know, just grace the event with their voices, what God has given them onto this earth to minister through their voices to us. Sometimes you know, we do these things not realizing that not even every now and then, we always need our spiritual cups replenished, because it takes so much. It takes a toll on you to be able to come across these heartbreaking stories in our country. You can't turn a blind eye. You know, sometimes I go to bed and then I go, let me just browse on my phone to see if there aren't any emails that were urgent requiring my attention. Then you come across a story and then something says, please get up, whether it's 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock, and sit up, open your laptop so that you can see the story properly. I remember just recently a gentleman who couldn't be here because his mom was not well. His name is Nkosi Dladla. Wrote a very emotional email to the foundation and said he couldn't find the details of the president's foundation, so he chose to write to us. He said, I'm a graduate. I've completed a BCom degree in finance, and I'm basically jobless, and we live in a shack with my mother, and I'm in the verge of committing suicide. So you think, okay, do I sleep? Do I sit up and read further to see how I can save this life? Even if it's just one life, to me, it matters, because this is our future. Our youth is our future. And if anything, we need to invest in our youth and our future. And of course, I mean, you can't help it. You don't even wait for the PA there. I just go onto her email and I reply as if it was her responding. And I just write back and say, just hang in there until the morning. When the morning comes, you know, everything else shall be gone, all the pain that you're going through. And indeed, I'm happy to say today, he is our professional volunteer. I said to Nonjabulo, we don't have money, you know, we're not loaded. I don't have a cent next to my name. I've depleted all my savings, but let us call this guy. In fact, I said, call him, ask him to come through, interview him. I don't know what we're going to give him, but for him to just wake up in the morning and come to a place where he would call work, even if it's not formal. He would be an intern. He'll be attached to you. You will help him put together anything to do with finance, what he does. And Nonjabulo, of course, amazing soul. He just said, before my mother dies, all I want is to build her a home. And that's not too much to ask for. So I felt, you know what, there is so much for us to do, and with little resources, if none. But I must say that standing here, I'm blessed with such wonderful, you know, team. I need you to come here. They need to see you. Please come through. They just have to see you. Come, Olona, come. Don't be shy to come through, Nana. You just need to see them, because these people are driven by nothing but passion. And I may not say every day to them, thank you, but today I'm saying thank you. Next to me is Nonjabulo from finance. She's the shortest of them all, I think. The height of my daughters. And next to her is a new member on board who's just come with so much energy. And her name is Bonga. Next to her is one whom I will refer to as having departed, but finds it difficult to depart completely. She's pursued her career, but she's always, when you call on her, Olona Kwabi, she'll come running. She's one of those people that, they hold a special place in my heart. Next to her is Martina Matawung. Martina Matawung has got a very special story as well, very similar to that of Ndumiso. And she's always been the one who has been giving testimonies when we have our events. But we said today, let our people hear it from a different person altogether. Martina, on her way back from work, was raped by a taxi driver. After that, as if that was not enough, contracted HIV. As if that was not enough, later on was diagnosed with cervical cancer. As if that was not enough, pulmonary TB. And I think for me, that's when you stop as a human being and say, what have I done? What have I done wrong? But then again, all you need is the strong support system behind you that will see you through that ordeal, and that you turn that ordeal to save the lives of the people instead of being bitter and angry, because it won't assist you to move one step further towards the healing process. Next to her is Lungi. Lungi is one of those I would call house executives. But she defied that and said, you know what, I want to give back to my community. Comes to the office, helps the team, gets things done, and driven by nothing but passion, gets nothing at the end of each month, uses her petrol and her jeep to get to wherever we need to go to. But, she's been with me. I've known her for over what now? Since 2001. Yes, since 2001. She's one of those people that you can call on anytime and you know that things are going to get done and you walk away knowing that it will be done. Thank you so much, Lungi, as well. Next to her is Sebe, very shy but very enthusiastic individual that I would not like her to lose what drives her, because I can see that she's going to really take this foundation to another level. She's providing program support. On my left here is Sanele, also a graduate, master's, expects nothing at the end of each month. Mother was a domestic worker but got fired. And I said, you know what, Mtanam, if anything, I'll help you with what I have. But I'll give you the platform to touch the lives and inspire the youth to be the best that they can be. And she's the one who would come to me and say, Ma, the stats at UKZN are very disturbing when it comes to the new infection rates of HIV. And she, as I said, he expects nothing in return, as long as, he said, Ma, if I can just leave. And I said, that's all I need. Thank you so much, Nana. Appreciate it. Next to Sanele is Balentle. Balentle is also a master's graduate, or still getting there, in communications. We've come a long way with her. She started off as a volunteer, and this is where we are today. She's the one who's behind any communication, and I think she's done what Olona used to do. She took on from Olona, and she now even responds to people when they write on Instagram and say, Angel. I'm thinking, Haibo, did I write this? No, I didn't write this. So it was her. So really, it warms my heart. And next to her is Akona. I would say minister without portfolio. She will jump at everything I ask her. She will do anything and everything, from looking after my needs at a personal level to the kids, to everything, office, wherever. She'll be everywhere at any time she's needed to. And again, guys, I needed this opportunity to say thank you, because I've never gotten this opportunity. Thank you so much. A pink shirt is Thandi Bulai, who's also our professional volunteer. She's just had a baby and she's still, soldiering on, trying to get back at her feet. And of course, Pungi delivered a very moving testimony that brought me to tears, because we've come a long way with Pungi. And I was there when she said, you know what, this has come back again. And I know that when cancer comes back, it comes back with a vengeance, almost like saying, you beat me the first time, I'm here to get you this time around. And it took us both to work together, and every information that I came across, I would share with her, would go to doctors together just to provide the support, even if I'm one who doesn't like to be poked with needles, but there's this doctor who does nothing but to poke you. It's called acupuncture. So I'll sit there trembling with her, thinking, okay, this is the best I can do to provide support to her, because I can't let her do this alone. If it means ensuring that she eats organic food only, but just to ensure that we minimize the effects of chemo, because I know what chemo can do to a person. Sis Joanna, you've been there with us. Thank you so much for all your support together with Basi and sure, Ndomiso. You really brought us all to tears because we are mothers. We are, aunties, we are grannies, and his experience, I said to him, will heal so many souls. What he didn't say is the fact that he's actually a PhD student. Which really means that he's defied all odds, that life has thrown to him as curveballs and said, you know what, as he said, he stood in front of the mirror and said, this is me, I'm going to now start accepting myself and stand up and make the best of what is remaining of my life. I'm really proud of you, Ndu. I actually called him to come to Ngandla just the other day, and he sat there the whole day waiting to meet the president, because I said, you know what, for me, he's my special guest, and he shall meet the statesmen, so that we ensure that we don't talk about our youth. We need to talk to them. They need to tell us how we can address the challenges that they're facing. They're not a burden to us. We brought them onto this earth, and so therefore we have a responsibility to ensure that we give them the platform, we listen to them, we don't despise them and think they're doing all the things that they're doing because they are youth, because we once were youth ourselves. And it's very important that for us to be able to address the problems that are facing our country, we do it together as a collective with the youth and give them that responsibility to say, lead us. Because in that way, if they lead us, then we know that we are on the right track. We know what it is that needs to be done. And thank you so much, Ndumis. And I'm hoping to be working very closely with you, my foundation, ensuring that we heal so many broken souls. And also moving on to Dr. Harvard and her delegation. Thank you so much to the Chinese community for your continued support that you've shown to the foundation, because we wouldn't be where we are if it was not for your support. We really appreciate it. And we continue to work. I was just with the First Lady of China, sitting next to her during the BRICS summit, and we really also reaffirmed our position to be working together in the area of HIV/AIDS. I've spoken about Griselda, who said she was once a princess. Thank you so much, my dear, for, she's one person that you can't hide. You can't hide Griselda and say, stand behind me. She'll make sure that she's there in front of you. I mean, angeke nje umfihle at all. But thank you so much, my dear, because I think it was through you that you broke the silence. They also spoke, but you used your visibility, which is very unique. And you said, you know what, I'm going to speak out about this disease. I'm going to ensure that our country moves away from being in denial and saying that HIV does not cause AIDS, which embarrasses us everywhere we go. But thank God it's behind us now. We've moved forward and not regressed as a country. And we're making strides in ensuring that this disease remain not a public health threat in our country. So thank you so much for your voice. And, you have a voice that one cannot get tired to listen to. Even whether it's on radio or anywhere else, one cannot get tired. Whether it's at night at 8 o'clock, I listen to you. So thank you so much for being the voice for those women that are out there that are being silenced by the circumstances. Also, Leanne, thank you so much, Angel, for working very closely with Lungi. Somehow there's something I noticed today. You look alike. I'm not sure whether it's only me or whether it's the hairstyle. But thank you so much for really coming up with this ping box effect. And it really is going to impact our young girls because, one, they don't have a voice. and really it would give them the voice and it would empower them in a big way to ensure that we end hate amongst girls, which is unnecessary, and that we also give them that platform by listening to them. And not only will we listen, we'll move forward by ensuring that we do something about what they've told us, because through the Listen to the Girl Child campaign, it seeks to really address the new infection rate that we see in our country, and currently it's sitting at 2,300 per week. That's the new HIV infection rate. And that for me gives me sleepless nights, because then it says, you know what, you may have gotten the control of HIV/AIDS, but it seeks to undermine the very work that has been done. The fact that globally we one of the leading countries that have been able to implement, or rather put each and every person on that is HIV positive, regardless of their CD4 count, on ARVs, and are now people are now living productive lives. So we actually recognized everywhere you go. We are so proud of the milestones that we've made in ensuring that HIV/AIDS is not a public health threat. But again, when you look at the new infection rate, it means it seeks to wipe out the youth that we have of today. So we need to do something about it, ensuring that we change the picture. We need to thank all the business people that are here, that have supported us, or that are going to be starting today to support us. Thank you for believing in us, and thank you for creating the capacity for us to be implementing these amazing programs that we have, because we have tailor-made programs that are seeking to intervene and really change the picture, close the gaps that exist between in our healthcare system. That the poor they are not defined by the fact that they're poor in order for them to get cheap medicine. That our poor people also have access to quality health care and life-saving treatment that will stop them from dying from largely preventable diseases when we know what needs to be done. And also, Dr. Dumelo, she's there in the corner. She's waving right now, and she's a medical doctor by training, but she fell in love with Deco. I don't know how the two come together, but she's driven by nothing but passion. And she also shared a very inspiring story during our Listen to the Girl Child campaign, where she said also she was once in that position, but she was able to stand up, get up, and be able to qualify as a medical doctor. And it's now her choice. Basically, once you're that educated, it's really your choice which way you want to go. And thank you so much, Dr. Dumelo, for always, being patient with us and knowing very well that we're not loaded. But all she says is that even if you just pay for what I've bought, ma'am, that's fine. And thank you so much for that. And I'm hoping that one day when we are loaded, you'll be the first one to say, okay, give us your amount. What is it that you need? Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. And all the professional volunteers, all our guests here. And I think for me, those that have lost the battle also to these diseases that we mentioned here, that are seeking to be claiming so many lives of our people, we would like to acknowledge those, and also their families, that what, through their lives, we're hoping that you'll join us in the fight and ensure that we raise the awareness, the necessary awareness about these diseases, because our people are not dying from these diseases, but the lack of knowledge. And if we take the education and educate our communities, especially in the rural communities, because that's where they've got very limited access to information. They don't know when these diseases strike. But also, we're very, as the foundation, very strong on prevention, because we want to prevent the onset of these diseases, because the old saying, as it goes, prevention is better than cure. And I think our country is really overburdened financially, the budget, by treating the diseases as opposed to preventing them. So if we add our little effort in ensuring that we prevent them from happening, it would really create capacity to be able to do other things, because we can build as many hospitals as possible, but if we don't prevent the onset of the disease, we'll really run out of the resources. And I think with those few words, if there were few, I really would like to say thank you. And for those that were present here today, you really made this day a beautiful day. It wouldn't have been what it is if it wasn't for you. Those that are always forgotten, the sound guys behind the scenes, thank you so much. Media partners, SABC, We would like to thank you for your continued support, because through you, we are able to reach so many of our people that we wouldn't have been able to if it wasn't for you guys. Thank you so much. I saw Duma Sandile here. Thank you so much for always being our volunteer. Thanks to Olona for always mobilizing you. Thank you so much, guys. And those that are still battling it out with the disease, Pongi, we're still here. Anyone who needs our support, we're here in our own little way. Thank you so much.